Hi everybody, welcome back. So been a couple of weeks since we've done anything to the bike, so today I am going to be finally getting our oil circuit finished off. The brand new line has turned up, so we're all sorted on that. Got the two connections for the engine block, which are made out of aluminium, and a copper washer to go in there, and then we've got the pressure relief connection for the filter to attach to. I've also got some tape so that we can finish the front part of the loom on, so we'll also stick that on. What I'll do first, quickly sort out this piece of loom and we'll get that connected up, and then I'll talk you through how you go from a non-oil cooler installed 748S to one with a oil cooler. Okay, let's wrap this loom up. So that's the loom all sealed now, all the way up to the end. Let's get that quickly on the bike. Okay, so the front loom is fitted, so it goes into the big Deutsch type connector that goes up through. It comes up between the frame and the radiator, through between the headstock and the right hand side fork, and then connects into the clocks. When I get the fairing, I'll work out how much space there is to tie these in. So next job is to finish fitting in the oil cooler. So as you remember, I fitted the oil cooler on during the build. We've got the return line here, but we haven't done anything with the block itself. So what we need to do is take off, if you remember, this connection here is where the feed went up to the heads for the old style cooling that was done on the S, where it had no oil cooler. So you had a connection that went straight in here with a hose that went to the feeds that go on each side of the heads. What we're going to do is take this blank out and then enable us to be able to run this oil cooler. What I'll do is I'll quickly take you over to the bench and show you on an old set of cases what bits we're going to change around. Okay? So if you imagine this is the cases that we're going to modify, we've got an oil feed coming out of the oil pump, which is taken directly from the outlet from the pump there, and then we've got the return that then goes down via the oil filter and then back to the suction side of the oil pump. What we're going to be doing is modifying the cases with these aluminium adapters to be able to connect the hoses. So we'll put one on the bottom like so, and one on the supply. And then the other modification we've got to do is, because we've changed cases as well, so we need to put pressure relief in, which is this plate. Now that will sit inside there underneath the connection or the union for the oil filter, which will go like so, and then that gets torqued down, as do they, and then we can connect the lines. So all I've got to do that is repeat that on the actual engine itself. When we put both these connections in, we'll put some Loctite on all of these connections to make sure that they go in nice and tight and we don't get any issue with them running loose. And these have got brand new copper washers so that we get a good seal between the union and the actual cases as well. And then last thing we'll do is we'll fit the two hoses. So this is the supply hose. I've got a brand new one of these that I've got fit, and then the return hose, as you've seen, is already on the cooler, so we just need to connect that up on that large stage. Okay, let's get all those bits put onto the engine. Right, so these have been stuck in with a little bit of free bond on the coppers as well. And what we're going to do now is just to make sure we've got a good seal on the copper washers and these fittings, is these will be torqued down to 18 Newton meters. This gets done up to 45 Newton meters. Okay, and hopefully you can now see that connection in there. So that's the oil filter adapter with the little pressure relief spring on it in its place. What we're now going to do, fit the pressure lines in. Okay, so that's the oil cooler install done. So return line, supply line. These are just hand tightened, touch down, and it's about 1/4 of a turn. As we said, the oil filter adapter that sits up in the engine, that was 45 Newton meters. I'll put the filter in when I do the commissioning for the bike. All I've got to do now is just drop back in the battery tray and just tighten that up. Let's do that quickly. And there you go, all fitted around this side. So as you remember in a previous episode, we put the head feed onto the top of the cooler. Again, the supply line that comes into here is just done up hand tight. This is a 19mm, quite a tight fit aluminium fitting, and 17mm spanner size across the hexes, that is. Battery tray is now back in with the oil cooler all bolted away. As we did earlier, we've got the front loom all connected in as well. Okay, so one oil cooler modification completed on a 748S. This puts us in a nice place for racing because it gives us that extra cooling effect for the oil. That's it for this video, so relatively short one. Good news is the bodywork is ready for collection. I'm going to be picking that up on this Friday coming. So next week's video will be about putting the fairings on. So we've got a brand new seat unit coming and a front fairing, lower fairing and top fairing. So we are almost done. I've got to order the battery and get some race bits. So I need to get a shark's fin fitted to here, but we're in the closing stages. If you enjoyed this little video, please chuck us a like. Any questions or comments, then feel free to add them down below. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, would really welcome you on the channel. So once again, thanks for watching. See you soon. Cheers. Bye.